Okay, we have a little bit of vocab here that we need to learn today in this lesson. So we talked about variables, parameters, coefficients, and constants, and I want to make sure that you understand what is what. So if we are looking at the equation y equals mx plus b, our variables are the x and the y. These are the inputs and outputs. They are quantities that can change. That's what makes them variables. Anytime we have an equation, our x and our y, our inputs and our outputs, are going to be the variables because those are the things that can change, and these are the values we try to find. Parameters are a different thing. In this case, parameters are m and b. These are the numbers in your equation that are there for every instance. They are the quantities that do not change in a situation. For any given relationship where we have the equation y equals mx plus b, m and b are going to be the same for that relationship no matter what x's and y's we choose. Okay, a coefficient. In this case, my coefficient is m. A coefficient is any number that multiplies a variable. So anytime I have a term where there is a number multiplying a variable, that number is called a coefficient. So for example, if I have 4x, 4 is the coefficient. If I have negative 1/3 x, negative 1/3 would be the coefficient. And this isn't just terms with x. It can be if there's a variable that's y, it could be if it has an x squared. Anytime you have a variable and the number out in front is multiplying it, that number is the coefficient. And then last, we have constant. In the case of y equals mx plus b, our constant is b. So a constant is any number that gets added one time. Notice there is no variable in this term. It is just the number. And when I say it gets added, it can be a negative number because adding a negative is the same as subtracting. So if you have something where it is -5, that -5 would still be a constant. It would be the same as adding a -5. So any number that gets added, whether it's positive or negative, that would be considered a constant. Make sure that you have all of these definitions written down on page 23 in your notebooks.